Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Cyber Games 2008 here in Cologne in Germany. And welcome back to Counter-Strike 1.6. Paul Red-Eye Challenger here with Jonas BSL Viken, Berlin Alliance Manager from the CGS, is with me. And we have a monumental Germanic battle ahead. It is the Germans of Team Alternate Attacks against the German clan, but Danish clad, of mTw.AMD. This is a big game for a number of reasons, Jonas, not least of which because Alternate Attacks, having lost to Kazakhstan in the group stage, now have to win against mTw, arguably the best team in the world this year.
Yeah, and we talked with the German commentators here before the match got live, and they don't understand how it happened. They lost 16-14 to the Kazakhstani team K29? 3. And
who haven't been good since, well, since Michael Jackson was black, I think is the phrase.
Or since Source was used in the World Cyber Games.
Or Source was used in the World Cyber Games, which was my next point. I've got a three-man push so far here. Prox is in eyes, and three of them pushing forward. Zonic just waiting by the back of the 5 train. Will have called that one now. I think he saw all three of them rushing down that ramp and in towards the inner bomb site. And it is a first kill of the round for Alternative Attack. So they've made a really good push in here so far. Moon with just 1 point of health though, and not looking in the best of shape, but a good entry so far. Zonic has come up with one. Wim's come up with a second on a Prox for headshot. Oh, Moon surprises in the back. Wim had no idea where he was, and with 1 health point, can he pick up a second? He can! That's unbelievable from Moon. And finally, Sundar shuts him down. But what an absolute mess he was making of the unbelievable push behind with 1 point of health. It's a 1v1 right now, and Roman, I think, is going to win this one. That bomb is definitely going to explode, and Zonic is not going to be able to get it, and Roman will take him down, and that is a fantastic way to kick things off on the T side of Nuke.
And the crowd here in Germany is roaring for Team Alternate. Here, Paul. It was phenomenal play here by Moon, the team's captain and in-game leader, with 1 health point. He snuck around and got 2 frags.
Absolutely amazing play from Moon, just when you thought, what the heck is he doing? I was thinking, you know, he's going to get found out there. Surely they're going to push through a connector and see him under the train. No, they didn't, and led him away, and he managed to pick off 2 with 1 point of health. And
it was a smart play by him in that situation where you only have 1 health point left. Is either all or nothing. Either you get smart or lucky, and you pick up 2 frags, or you don't.
They seem to have faked the dropping down pop, but they've pushed 3 inside. Oh, there's a dink on Roman on the far side. That was from his own teammate. Don't want to be doing too much of that, thank you very much. As Flex will guard the back hallway right now. So it's a plant inner, but it looked as if they were going to fake the outside and then push in, and they did do exactly that.
They're in trouble here.
That one up, but Sundar is going to come in here, and they are going to whip this one away. And Alternate Attacks after that opening first round of brilliance. That's shameful defending of the bomb site.
It's terrible, and it's so discouraging too for a team that really needs to win this to pick up a huge pistol round and then just drop it like that in the following say round.
I have to just add in there as well. Zonic was first man dropped, so they had a 5v4. They had a fake outside and a push inner, which was a clean plant, no problem at all. Set yourselves up, control the inner bomb site with long range shots with the weapons, and you would back them every time, would you not?
Yeah. I was really...
I would put my house on them winning that round. Well, obviously, I would be homeless now in round 3, Red-Eye without a house. 1 minute 30 on the clock, and no push so far. Bomb is in the hands of Flex. We're inside so far with Zonic. Nothing doing for him as we cycle through. They're making what looks like that in a push again that they did in that first round. Very similar. It worked that time round. Now Roman's got a sniff of one man. He was baited out though by MJ, and then Zonic picked up a triple before being shut down by Moon, and MJ will pick up that last one. So straightforward, and that's more like it. That's what Alternate Attack should have played the previous round. Amazing. 2-1. mTw leading.
Well, we get drama right off the bat here, right?
We do. We get it right away, as we have a very large crowd in here in the over 16 stage area at the WCG, the World Cyber Games Finals. And whilst this might not necessarily have been the group of death, the fact that the Kazakhstanis have now beaten Attacks means it effectively is a group of death, because as we've said, Alternate now need to win this particular match if they're going to stay in the competition. Otherwise it's bye-bye, on home soil no less.
Yeah, and huge play here by Roman, opening up the round and picking up a frag, leaving another one for Pan here, and they're on an advantage right away. for Team Alternate here on the outer bomb side on train.
Yeah, they do have a 5v3, a couple of men wounded on the side, but here we go, MJE with a triple kill inside, and there is the bomb. It's about to be planted shortly. Sunder's picked up one, they've got one man of farm, which is Roman, and from a really good position, they've completely been obliterated. And I'm shocked at how easily they failed that round when it really looked like they had the only 5v3.
Another one of those situations like the save round there. It's so discouraging to lose this when they open up with 2 frags, having the advantage, then dropping the round like that.
So Roman with 24 health is going to make his way back to White Halls here. He's got 2 men facing him, Zonic and Sunder. He'll know that his teammates will have tagged Zonic a little, but no one's tagged Sunder at all, and he has AWP in hand waiting.
And Roman's low on health to boot.
Yeah, he is low on health. Just, I think that was 20, 24, maybe 26 points of health is all he's got left. And time is running out here. 20 seconds remaining. Doesn't have bomb in hand either. And but if you could have any more pressure, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, and he can't cope, so he's running away, hiding, saving his weapon in T-spawn, which is basically the smartest thing he could do with the rest of that broken round.
So it will be a 3-1 lead here for mTw. They are going to go and frag hunt, I think. Oh, well, maybe not, actually. They're backing away. They're just going to keep their positions. They're not too worried about that 1 AK that Roman's going to save. And there it is. Confirmation. Round 4 falls the way of the Danes. They lead by 3-1. But this game could have been so different after that second round.
Yeah, Alternate making it even harder on themselves after losing that match like we talked about against Kazakhstan by dropping that unlikely save round to mTw.
So here we go. Not a huge amount of weaponry, in fact no weaponry between the 3 we see on screen. A prox on our screen right now as 3 men for comfort of time. I think just Roman with that saved AK from the previous round is the only one they've got in there.
They seem to like the inner sight here.
They do like that inner push, which they're going to walk through again. Oh, now that was a poor shot there. I think that was Zonic on the inside bomb site, missed the shot, and that's allowed Roman to pick up that early frag. Now, are they going to rotate or are they going to push round to the back? It does look as if we've got 3 men moving towards that area now. Wimp's got the call, and Roman again has found himself on 1 point of health. Yep. And as a good move, actually, he's thrown that AK away and given it to a teammate, which is exactly what you want to be doing when you've only got a little bit of health left.
Yeah, he got seriously tagged there by MGE, and like a smart team player, he drops his weapon for Flex, who could possibly pick up some frags and leave some hope left in this round still for Team Alternate.
It's finally poised here. We've got a 4v4 between these 2 teams, so nothing doing just yet. We haven't really seen any kind of push. They'd like to walk inside, and I think they've done that 3 times out of the 4 rounds, so maybe, just maybe mTw are thinking there might be something different going on here, and guess what? That's exactly what there is. Now, is there, have they guessed well? They have guessed well. Ave will get that grenade frag. That picks up 1. Prox has got a second here as a return fire on Web. Flex now aiming down the 3 trainers. Picked up that frag on Ave as well. So they've got 2 men remaining here, and this is a really good chance and an opportunity. But only 8 seconds here. They've got to get this bomb planted. They're now going to go for the bomb plant. Sunder is defending for all he's worth, and surely he's going to be able to get it. Oh no! The bomb is just about planted, and now he's going to make the flex. Flex lands a brilliant headshot on Sunder though, and now it's a 2v1, and Sonic gets shut down. And welcome back to the game, Alternate Attacks.
That is impressive with weak economic muscles there. They come back with some huge frags from Flex and take that round, and they're very much alive in this game here,
well,
Paul.
They had the economy of an American president right there. They had nothing in the bag whatsoever, no money to boot, no financial assistance. They needed severe bailout by the government, and the government came in the form of Roman with that AK-47, and they've pulled off a masterstroke in round 5. Every round they get on T-side nuke is going to be very, very hard fought, but very worthwhile.
Sunday opens up with a huge op frag on Roman R before Flex fires back, and they're exchanging frags here all over the map, really.
Yep, 1 for 1 so far here in round number 6 as Wimp will take the headshot on Flex. He'll get a second one on a Prox, and that has just about opened this team up now to a can of worms. They've got a 3v1, and again you find yourself as Pam will pick up that frag on Wimp. Now it's a 2v1, was 3v1, and now has a possibility with bomb in hand here. Sunder and MGE, the last 2 remaining for mTw. A couple of shots fired off. Sunder misses the initial AWP strike down at the bottom of the trike. It is an outside. Fires again and again misses, and has now thrown away that gun. MJ now with the M4 in hand. And making his way towards that. Pan picks up another one. This was a 3-on-1. It's now a 1-on-1. And can he land it? He can! That's sensational from Pan. It's a 3v1. And alternate attacks have tied it up at 3-3.
And the crowd is going absolutely wild here with that performance. It was huge for him to pick that up for his team on the back heel, so to speak, and took down 2 of the Danish players to win the round.
Well, they don't like to make it easy, do they?
They certainly don't, and it's all tied up now at 3 apiece.
Alternate, really, you know, if the danger is in their face, they laugh at it and win the round.
Yep.
If they've got nothing like against them in that round and they've got a full complement of weapons, they lose the round. It seems absurd, and here we are yet again, round 6 now. If they've gone for a partial buy on this round, I think MTW might be a little light on money here in round number 7, and we're with Abe right now, who has just a USP in hand, a silence one at that as well, and well, alternate, they're just going to anti-strat this one, I think, and wait for them to push. Indeed, good move from Pam, waited for Sunda to push, and that's exactly what he did.
And finally they're hanging back while the other team is saving instead of...
welcome to the strat book.
We got several of MTW's players low on health. AV's down possibly 10 health here, and this one should be in the bag for the Germans, even though they're also low somewhat on Pan here.
Well, there's the last couple of shots ringing out from AK. Some polite applause in the audience, because that is the lead right there, Jonas. 4-3.
Didn't seem that enthusiastic with that round, but
it was an anti-strat round. They waited, they decided that they were going to wait and see whether their opponents pushed, and they did, and they picked up the frag. So that's the thing they didn't do in the previous 6 rounds.
Yep, that was smart play finally here from Team Alternate on the 3rd try. And they're hanging back again at the beginning of this round. Prox sitting in T-spawn, waiting for that offensive push by the Danes. No luck so far. MGE is watching inner for that German push. They've gone to that side several times so far. And it looks like Moon is making his way there already.
Does look as if Moon is poised, ready to make an assault on that inner bomb site. We've got Avi just outside waiting. Checking for that T corridor, anyone coming through there, no one so far. Wimp set as well, and looking back towards Ivy, nothing doing for him either. So, minute remaining in the round, fairly quiet start to this one. As Jonas pointed out, it's Team Alternate just kind of mixing up the strats a little bit, and I like that. I think that's good. They made a few inner pushes early on when they didn't have money and they didn't have weapons, and then they did it when they did have weapons as well. So they showed their hand early, pushed 3 times out of 4 inside. And then they made that little rotation, which really helped them out in round 5. And now they're playing it a little bit more cagey. So good mix of strategies, and that really is keeping MTW guessing. Finally, the gunfire breaks out, and Pan downs one, but it's Sonic back, who strikes the fear of God into the heart of Pan. And with a 3-1 advantage, it is MTW who restore a bit of normality to this game. Let's not forget, they're on CT side. We're playing on Train, therefore it is a 10-round victory, surely. We were expecting a landslide victory here for MTW, also being hailed as possibly the best counter-terrorist team on the planet. Thus far, though, their defenses have certainly been lacking. They're dropping that partial buy round. I think you're being kind. Shaky would be a
shaky is a better
reasonable
word for it.
thing. Absolutely appalling first half would be probably more accurate, but let's give them a chance to get back in it and redeem themselves. There's 7 rounds left of the half, including this one. We're in round 9. It's 4-4 if you're just joining us. MTW 4, alternate attacks 4. And
they're low on cash again.
They are low on cash once more, as sporadic set of weapons around them. As Moon picks up that shot. He seems to be the only man that can use a Glock on the team. Flex is the other man alive so far. He's got a Deagle in hand. He won't last too long.
They couldn't pull out a miracle in that one again. He probably spent all their miracles for that match, don't you think?
I think they're probably right out of miracles right now. They've had enough. The funny thing is, although I mentioned that I like their strat mix-up, the other thing to mention is that both teams have made a lot of mistakes so far, and that's really why the rounds have ended up where they've ended up.
But then again, it's with the teams making these mistakes, it's colourful for us to watch.
Absolutely. For the neutral, it's fantastic. And
indeed, very entertaining.
I'm not so sure about the German crowd right now. They seem a little edgy out there. There's a few chewing of fingernails, but I actually think they've done okay. 4 rounds, T-side so far out of 9. I'd take that if that was given to me before this game.
Yeah, definitely. And MTW now with solid economy finally. So I expect them to pick up some steam now and string some rounds together here quickly as they take the first three frags of the 10th round.
Yes, it was MJ picked up the important frag on Roman Art, and he's been dealt with. 2 remaining. Moon, who has been very good so far. Prox, who's been fairly anonymous, I have to say, in this attack side thus far on T side. He's looking to go outside, but not looking to go outside. We switched away just at the wrong moment, unfortunately, as Avian Wimp picked up that final couple of kills. And this is a little bit more like you would expect a CT side to be looking.
Yeah, and you would need a huge mistake from MTW for Team Alternate to win that round, and it seems like the Danes finally got their act together.
Having said that, though, we had that mistake when Pan. Would you say that was a mistake round by MTW, or just great play by Pan? Because 3v1 with the bomb planted, you'd have to say, come on, the 3 of you can go in here at the same time. You can cover crossfires. You can come up from the back. You can come up steps. You can come from train. You've got him surrounded. Surely you can't look 3 ways. Yet they chose to go in 1v1v1, and that didn't work out.
There are several ways of doing that. One of which is attacking him from 2 sides, and the other is going in 1v1 or going in together. And they chose the wrong option, making it easy on him. What we see right now is the Germans sitting it out in spawn, sort of taking a timeout. They're giving the round up to discuss strategy and how they're going to get back on their feet in this game, with MTW up by 7-4.
It's an interesting point when teams do that. I've not seen a huge amount of teams do that, but Alternate are one of those teams. It seems to be getting more popular, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
didn't used to be like that.
No, it was never like that when I played.
You would always try a round. You would always try. If you had a Glock in your hand with 20 bullets on it, you would be trying to win the round.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's a more pragmatic view, perhaps, where you think, well, look, we've lost a couple of rounds now. We've lost 3 in a row. We can't afford to keep losing. What do we do different? And do we take that time and just talk about it? Yes, we do. And they're one of those teams that are doing that. How do you think that? Because that's a change of culture within Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
How do you see that?
I think it's very smart by teams doing that. We also discussed that in the earlier game here, where we saw MYM getting annihilated by Istro, and we talked about how they should be doing that.
Right.
And taking a timeout, taking a breather, discussing what's wrong. They didn't, and you saw the result in that match.
Well, we'll see if it works out for Alternate Attacks. They've lost 3 men already in this round, but MTW have lost a couple of themselves. 3v2 right now. They have the advantage on the inner bomb site. Ave has seen 1 man inside, I believe, as well. So he knows that push is going to come. I think he spotted bomb in there, although neither of the players that we're watching right now, Flex or... actually, Flex's last man down with 3 health, so he's not going to last very long, was what I was about to say, and Avi agreed with me. So 8-4. The timeout not working too well from that particular round. I think they probably took an extra eco round as well. I'm just waiting to see whether they buy or not. I wasn't absolutely sure of what they did at the start of that last round. So we'll see what they end up with in this particular round. 12 in, 3 remaining, and I think Alternate will want to at least pick up 1 more, maybe even 2 more.
I was going to say we're back on schedule here with Danes heavily on the offensive here as counter-terrorists as far as rounds go.
What do you put those early rounds down to, though? Because they looked atrocious. They looked to sleep up there.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe they had problems getting started. You oftentimes see that with these great teams. They take a breather too early, and these other teams come in firing all cylinders. And but they got their act together now.
They certainly seem much more on form, much more comfortable here on CT side, which you'd expect as Avi picks up another one. Flex, the only man to reply with any kind of force there, as Zonic and MJ pick up the last 2. That's 9-4.
And you can see that they're back on their game because it looks so easy. They work together.
It looks controlled. It looks precise.
No more funny mistakes now.
No, quite. I mean, dare I mention it looked like Benny Hill earlier on in this game. They really were chasing each other's tails around the course. Awful play in the first couple of rounds, but take nothing away from Alternate. They were good. They were well worth their 3 rounds early on. They now have 4.
And now they're with Deagles again for the Germans. German Deagles heading into the inner side. Have we seen this before, Paul? I think we have.
There's something that, I'm getting a bit of that deja vu stuff again. It's not going to work here as far as Zonic is concerned, although they do have 1 man here on bomb site now. Pan has managed to get all the way on the inside bomb site. Flex is with him here as well. So they've got a chance. It is only a slim chance, but it's a 3v2, and there's a brilliant couple of shots from Wimp and Sunder, and they brilliantly baited them out with a grenade over the top. and 10-4 is just reward. I think the Deagle buy that last round, Jonas, if I'm not wrong, was so that they could buy for the final round.
Yeah, and they really needed some needed to change their tactics up. I think they've been going to the inner side too much, and it doesn't seem like they're able to change. Thus far, they've been hitting that inner side. Yes, they're getting down there, but at a disadvantage.
I think I've seen them hit Ivy once
in
an entire round, and that surprises me because, for my money at least, it's the easier way in. I know it depends who you're playing and there's lots of other factors involved, but generally you're going to try it at least 3 or 4 times in a match. We've seen it once so far. Here we go though, we've had 2 from 2 on both sides. We're at 3v3, and again they've pushed inner, and again they've managed a successful insertion. That's what they had to do, and they've done that. I will give them that. They've managed to get that bomb planted numerous times. Can they defend it though? With Avey coming around the back, he's already picked up the headshot on Moon, and that is a stunning piece of play by Ave inside. Flex will pick up the frag on Wimp here. We're at a 2v2. This is finally balanced it. Oh, Flex with another stunning shot. Sunder in with the revenge frag, if you like, on the AWP. Makes his way towards this bomb site. It's got to be very quick because that bomb is about to blow. Surely he's going to go for it. Baited out by Pan, and that's another round won by a single player on the alternate team, and that's brilliant play by Pan again.
I think actually what we saw there was individual play coming into effect for alternate. They had 3 rounds where an individual player picked up the round, and the other 2 mTw were saving. So
absolutely right. Yeah, the Pan effectively. This scoreline should read mTw 10, team alternate 3, Pan 2.
Yeah. In the alternate red eye scoreboards, ladies and gentlemen.
10-5 and a half after. Fair result, first half, after all the mix. I mean, what was going on those crazy first 6 rounds?
I was going to say flattering result for alternate here. I think mTw is that much better, but like you said, there was some sort of circus act going on the first round, so we'll see if alternate can come back with some stellar CT play.
I think we ought to remind people as well that mTw are far from safe here. They're far from guaranteed to go through. They need to win this game, and if they win this game, that's 4 out of 4, no problem. They then play the Kazakhstanis. That's fine as well. Whether they win or lose, they should be okay to go through. But should they lose here to alternate attacks, and they would then have to beat their last game. So nothing foregone conclusion for either team just yet. But what would be definite would be alternate attacks would have a short walk home if they lose this game.
I have a bleeding heart here for Team Alternate. There's something of having the hometown favorites going deep into the playoffs. Some charm in that.
I would agree with you. 3 years ago in Singapore, we had the Titans make the last 16. And I think it's probably one of the most emotional games I've ever commentated on in terms of the breadth and depth of the amount of people that were willing their team on the main stage. Flex with a double as the bomb gets planted. He did pick those both up inside CT Spawn. Has now got a little bit of confusion going on because he's not quite sure where that bomb's been planted, and they now will know where that bomb's planted. Sunder is last man standing. Surely he is going to fall here. 4v1. He's got to go down, but he picks up the kill on Flex.
This is not possible.
He's got to do the second one. Has got the second one as well. Grenade goes over the top, and it goes over the top of him. Bomb has been defused, and Sunder didn't manage to pick it up. He bottled it in the top corner. Didn't pick up all the frags he needed. Great bit of cover by mTw, but another mistake.
Yeah, and they really were. They well played there by alternate. Good teamwork. They flashed him, and one guy baited him out, so there was really no time or bullets left in his clip to finish the job there, despite being this year's ESL Player of the Year at the awards, I think.
And I think the other thing to say about that is that's different to what they did against Pan in the first half.
Let's see if we can have a normal
second round.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. Well, Moon's going to try and make that not a normal one. He's got a grenade kill already on Avey, and that's made it 1-for-1 with Pan already the man dealt with on the alternate side. So they have switched round, of course. CT side now for alternate. mTw back on the T side. They need 6 rounds here, as the score is right now is 10-6 in favour of mTw. Bomb gets planted again. A little bit more money in the bank for them, if nothing else, and they're going down like flies right now. Sunder in with another shot. They picked up 2. Roman finally gets back on the board with Flex getting the second. Wimp comes back again with a Famous kill. Flexing on Wimp now. It's 1v1 and Zonic versus Flex. Which way's this going? Now Zonic, is he going to wait? Is that a bait? It is a bait. He's gone for the defuse yet again, and Zonic will pick up the frag, and that is unbelievable. Round 2.
I'm speechless. We have another crazy start to this half, and what you saw at the end there was a very smart play by Sonic. He waited him out, baited, took his time, and there was really not much Flex could do about it, despite having picking up a good frag there. on the first mTw player.
Crazy play, absolutely crazy play yet again here at the World Cyber Games. I said to you before, we've got that feeling that we're on something special here at the World Cyber Games. These things come around every now and again. You get something that's really, really spectacular as an event and as a tournament, and I think this just has the feeling of it right now, and the Counter-Strike is living up to all the hype. And
they turned the tables again here, so the Germans are now saving with the Danes packing equipment and weapons.
They have a 5v3 right now to mTw and an 11-6 lead.
Shouldn't have any problems with this round, though.
I agree with you. Zonic picks up a man on Moon. No, that'll be 3 down, 2 to 5. Roman and Flex the last 2 standing. I'd like to see where they are right now. Well, there's no point in seeing where they are. They're swimming with the fishes.
Yeah. And so I have a sneaking suspicion that mTw's routine, their big match mentality is going to come into play as this match goes deeper into the later rounds. Team Alternate haven't been a force to be reckoned with on the international stage for quite some time, so it's going to be very, very hard for them to beat mTw, who's coming off a huge win in China, where they took out Attax's arch rivals.
Arch nemesis.
The Mousesports team.
The men from Mousesports, of course. We're deep into round number 19 here of 30 scheduled in the group game. Grenade comes flying around the top and did a little bit of damage on the corner as well, as Zonic and Avi pick up a couple of kills. Zonic's got another one now with an AK and dealing damage out to a Prox. Can Avi pick up the last one? He can, and there's no man standing from Pan. This is 13-6, and we're closing in on victory here.
And this is interesting now because Alternate are back on their bankroll. They have money, and this round should be interesting because if they lose this round, then the match is almost over. They're broke again, and mTw can steamroll their way into a victory and send Alternate on the train back home.
I'd be interested to see when they play out all 30 rounds as well. I'm not convinced they will, but they should. They should. That's the point. They should, but we've seen it in the past. Last games of the group stage don't always get played out, so we'll wait and see. It would be pretty pointless for Alternate, but I think they have to have that kind of mentality that MYM had against Istra earlier. They just need to get as many rounds as possible, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. They haven't lost just yet, and it's 13-6, and they have CT half after all. We're 5v5 in this particular round so far. They've smoked in over here, and well, it seems mTw favour the inner plant as well. Bomb now down and planted.
5v5 after plant situation.
And 5v5 after plant. How does that happen?
Well, it's really interesting here because nobody really dared to try and pick one off early, so they just let them into the side and are trying to retake now, which is a more difficult thing for the counter-terrorists. Sort of changes everything around.
A lot more difficult as well as Pan makes his way towards that bomb site right now. Flex has picked up a double. Avi's come in for another double. That bomb is starting to tick away and become a factor here as MJE comes in, and they really have left it far too late here, Team Alternate. And mTw played that one to perfection. Perfect smokes, perfect flashes. 5 men alive when the bomb went down. They were never looking likely to lose it.
And I think we can expect at least a tie for the Danes here right now.
This should be either a partial or maybe just a Deagle buy for the Team Alternate. The Germans don't seem to have an awful lot of money yet. It's just Deagles between. There's one M4 in the hands of Roman, and Flex as well is also going. So they're
definitely trying to win.
Yeah, they definitely don't want this to go to the draw. They realise this goes to a draw, they're gone. They're gone out of the tournament. So everything is being thrown at this, and the kitchen sink included. And they really, really need round number 21. Is it lucky for them? Is it the pontoon jackpot they're looking for? Or is this the end of the road for them so early here on day 1, don't forget, of the World Cyber Games, with them being the host? It's not started too well for the Danes right now as Roman unleashes a couple of brilliant shots. That's a triple from Roman, and Moon's come in with one, and Prox has got another one, and they live to fight another day, Jonas, and they really don't deserve to.
It was so important also for them not to drop a player in that round with that strained economy. So suddenly there's a long road for them to go, but at least they have the economy to keep buying that weaponry and get back into this game.
Doesn't seem to be too much problem in terms of financial services for mTw. There's abundance of AKs and AWPs amongst them, so they look okay.
Are we going inner again, Paul?
Does look as if they are going to push towards inner once more. Bomb in the hands of Wimp as he makes his way inside. Moon is sitting there as well, although they've had a 2-3 split this time round. We couldn't see it on the overview. Unfortunately, we've only got the one feed that you've got at home, and it does look they've had a 2-3 split, 2 up in Whitehall. So let's wait and see. We don't know which way they're going to call this one.
Seems like they're trying to spread the defending team out and maybe pick some off on the rotation. Sunday opens up with a huge op frag on Pan.
Yeah, they
fires back.
They put 2 downside as well here. They've got 3 on Ivy, so they are going to make that outside push right now. Roman and Aprox have picked off 2, but Wimp and MJE have come back yet again with big frags of their own, and we're facing a 2v2, and again, Alternate sitting on the verge of defeat here, or at least a draw, and that wouldn't be good enough. One more man remaining separates them from almost certain death and going out of the World Cyber Games Grand Final in the opening day as the hosts here in Germany. One man remains to stop that happening. It's a 2v1, and Aprox is the last man standing. Will find MJE, and now a 1v1, but he hasn't got bomb in hand here, Zonic, so he's got to try and find that with 23 seconds to go.
Can Aprox do it again?
Was fairly anonymous, I have to say, in that first half, but
he's spotted him right now.
Spied him now. Is this going to be the end kill? He's got to make this landing. Doesn't have to land this kill, remember. He doesn't have to land the kill. He's got 12 seconds from it. He's got to play this one smart. If he plays it smart, and he is playing it smart, this is perfect play from him, and brilliant play. I was getting worried for a second. I thought we might be getting a silly bit of play, and he realised the clock was a factor.
Yeah, imagine if he'd stayed there and gotten picked off with 2 seconds to go and no bomb, and having to go home from the World Cyber Games on home soil. That'd be terrible, but still, they don't have any money now.
No, they don't have any money, but they're holding on here. They're clinging on
for dear life.
For dear life in the World Cyber Games. Remember, just they lose one round. That's it, they're gone. They can't have any more errors. They have to be perfect, and so far, so good. 2 down, 7 or 8 more to go.
And
it's a long road.
They bought, though. They have to buy every round, but they don't have that much equipment. They perhaps are without armor, and it makes it that much harder. Missed op shot also here as MJE is trying to enter the inner bomb side once again.
I think this might be a fake. They might be rotating here. It does look as if they're going to pop down pop now and make that outside bomb plant. They've called it as well here, Alternate as well, so they definitely think it was an inside. They saw the 2 men up in white holes, and that was exactly what they waited for, and Roman will pick them off from heaven here. Zonic's gone down, and there's another one from Pan, and Avi's gone down. Roman picks up another one, point blank range on MJE with a headshot, and now again Alternate Attacks can breathe a sigh of relief here. 3 versus 2, they've turned this around, but Wimp now comes back in on Roman. Sunder back in on Pan, and suddenly it switches again, and another 1v2. This time it's Aprox. He's going to be finished off, and surely now Team Alternate are going a very, very short distance home.
Can you believe how much that round turned around? That was 10 seconds.
That was a seesaw Counter-Strike round if ever I saw one.
I feel bad for Roman. He came up really big for his team so
huge
far
on
in the
top of
CT
heaven, picked off those 2 players when they popped up the ladder, and
he took the bomb down as well, but the others couldn't finish it, and the score right now is 15 for MTW, 8 for Alternate. So
that's at least a draw from the men from Denmark, who have such a long and storied history, of course, in Counter-Strike 1.6, not just as MTW, and are absolutely intent, hell-bent on extending that history.
Roman fell down from heaven.
The World Cyber Games as Roman. Well, I think that sums up the kind of game they've had and the kind of tournament they've had.
What a way to go, eh?
Cratering down from heaven is probably the least distinguished way I can imagine of falling out of this tournament, but that's exactly what they are about to do. There it is, confirmed right now. A clap and a polite applause from a couple of people in the crowd, but really they don't like this. And there are people leaving right now, and I don't blame them. I mean, their team is leaving, out, yes. And they are definitely out right now. 16-8, MTW will definitely advance. They have the head-to-head over Alternate. So do Kazakhstan, incredibly, and they will be the 2 teams that move on to the last 32.
But Paul, I really hate to say this, but I do think this score really reflects the difference in skill between these 2 teams. MTW is that much better. Simply, that's the way it is. They're that much better than the hometown heroes here, and despite putting up some sort of a fight, at least they're going home.
I think if you look back on the rounds, they have won. Aprox had a 1v2 that he won in the second half. Pan had a 1v2 that he won in the first half. He had a 1v3 that he won in the first half as well. There's 3 rounds that they picked up purely on individual skill. They're not winning a round. They're not playing as a team.
They're not coherently good enough as a team. You're right.
5 rounds as a team out of the 22 that they played, not good enough.
Yeah. Now when you're facing possibly the best team in the world right now. It's kind of funny with mTw though. They were in some sort of a slump earlier this year. I talked to Goodo, their manager, and they had
a mini slump.
Mini slump. They had a big meeting where they decided that they would really try and focus and practice to get back on top for the rest of the tournaments this year, and they have done so.
I have the perfect. I mean, if Martin had come and spoken to me, I'd have had the perfect recipe for his team. It's a great one. Fnatic used it, and it worked brilliantly for them. What you do is you go off to LA, you do really badly in a tournament. You then take the next 10 days off, you go to Vegas, you spend lots of money, you have a great time, you then play no Counter-Strike whatsoever for 2 weeks, you come back and then you win a tournament. It works.
Speaking of Fnatic, I had a conversation with Karn here, who was obviously disappointed with how they played in...
I'm going to put it right out there, they were atrocious at WCG Sweden.
He said that he recognized that they were not that much better than everybody else that they used to be, and that they would have to work really, really hard to get back on top. They do know what it takes, though, and they have the star players to do it.
Undoubtedly. I don't think there's any doubt in the skill, the charisma, or the kind of dedication that team have, or the ability to win. I think the issue is that it's got a little stale, and teams do that from time to time.
Yeah, it's really hard to stay on top. As anybody that's ever been good at Counter-Strike will tell you, the really big problem, Paul, is not getting on top. You can do that. The really difficult thing is staying there.
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to Ola the other night. Element is back here for what he calls a one-off. We'll see whether that turns out to be a one-off or not. But I know that he and his friends, Real, and the guys in Team Norway haven't particularly practiced all that much. They're just here to have some fun and enjoy themselves. But he's a guy that was at the top. You wrote about him. He tumbled to the bottom.
Yeah, and they're very much alike, those two. Both Element and Real, as you mentioned, were prodigious young players that, quite frankly, could have been the best in the world. And Ola at one point was, obviously, but then they, I don't know if it's the juvenile mentality or what it is, they let it go, but obviously that's their choice. And
there's a few players in this particular game right now. I'm thinking mainly Roman R, Zonic. Long-time players, been with the same team pretty much their entire career.
Yeah.
Been loyal to the players they've played with some fantastic players, but have maintained that high level. Might not have been standout players for a whole year, but have really become the staple 1.6 players.
And Roman R is usually prone to criticism. People say that he's bad, but he's been on top, in the top of the German scene now since 2001, I think, when he first was one of the first members of Mousesports, really. And as I was thinking about this, it's Roman R, and you have Gore from Mousesports.
Absolutely.
He's been around the top of the scene since 2001.
Blizzard alongside him as well.
Yeah. He quit, or he had to leave Mousesports earlier, I think. But Gore is still very much a world-class player, and he's been that way since he played for, I think he played for Infernum at Winter CPL 2001.
Now you're testing.
Can you really believe how long ago that is?
No, I can't, because it makes me feel terribly old. So I'm going to avoid that.
It's a lifetime and a half.
It is. We've still got a game going on here. They are playing out the rounds, much to my chagrin, I might add, because that must be really hard for Alternate to just sit there and watch the crowd disperse from the room, and they know they still have to play out another 9 rounds. It's 18-11 right now, so their misery is about to come to the end. There's no real pride in winning another round here and making an 18-12, Jonas. It's been a pretty devastating defeat for them. The first 6 rounds, I think, defined the entire match. There were lots of mistakes in that first 6 or 7 rounds. They had the lead at 4-3 on T side of Train. They'll look back on this and look at this as a missed opportunity, surely.
Yeah, and it was a messy start to the game, but there's a quality difference between these two teams, like we talked about, and they really had to pull out all the stops in able to test mTw, and they haven't. Simple as that.
No, Wimp pulls off a couple of 1-bullet AK shots on Flex and Pan, and downs them with ease. Sunder will come in with a knife kill on a Prox.
Ouch.
And that is just rubbing salt in an open wound.
Insult to injury.
And then opening it up again with the same wound and the same knife and the same piece of salt. That's disgusting play right there. I'm joking, of course. Roman finishes things off. And
that's it.
Alternate will pick up the final round. And we will see an 18-12 victory for mTw. Your man of the match and your final thoughts on the game.
Paul. For me, there really wasn't a man of this match. For MTW, it was a team effort. They each took turns shining. For Team Alternate, it's hard to call a man of the match when they lose as much as they did. But obviously, we talked about Pan and the Prox having big plays